This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social. I'm delighted to be joined by Adam Smith. We are here today at the Dillian Whyte Joseph Parker press conference. Quite a surprise today, Adam.
It's a fantastic surprise, isn't it? I mean, twists and turns go through boxing history, and they're just what makes it unpredictable and fun and keeps you on your toes. This time last week, Dillian Whyte was preparing for maybe a Bulgarian adventure against Kubrat Pulev, and now we have a mouth-watering fight. I think it's a really, really good clash. Joseph Parker back for redemption. Dillian Whyte with huge momentum, happy to take on anyone, anywhere, and making a real wave in the heavyweight division, which is huge, as we know. And while they can't get a shot at Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder at the moment, this is the best other fight out there. I think it's fantastic. I've just seen the odds. Joseph Parker's a slight favourite. It's what we want, it's what Dillian wants, and I know it's what Joseph wants. I think he feels that he let himself down a little bit. Yes, he went the 12 rounds with Anthony Joshua, but it was a negative performance, and I think he loved being here. He loved the British public. He loved the response, and I think he's delighted to be back. And I think he's got a point to prove. But stylistically, they're both the same sort of size. It's a better fight, I think, to watch than the AJ Parker matchup anyway beforehand. I think that he offers so much more than Lucas Brown, so it's going to be a real test for Dillian, but I can't wait to see it.
When did you first get wind of this fight being made? Because obviously in the last week, up until last night, the general consensus was that it was going to be Kubrat Pulev or Luis Ortiz for Dillian Whyte, and obviously Joseph Parker with Bryant Jennings. When did news of this fight first reach your ear?
Well, Rob, things happen behind the scenes in boxing, and things have to be kept quiet at times because contracts have to be signed. But it was a pretty easy deal to make. David and Eddie, for all their sort of bluster and fun that they have together, they're serious businessmen, and they got on with it, and they got on with it quickly. But it's hats off to Dillian, to Joseph for accepting the fight so very fast. So yeah, I did hear of it a while back, but. And I was a big advocate of the fight. I thought it was the right fight at the right time for both of them. I think it's the right fight for a summer Sky box office show. Eddie's putting on a huge card. Details I think he's going to announce early next week. But there's some mouth-watering stuff on the card, not just the main event. And I just felt we need a big show in July. Everybody loves a summer event, and I think that Dillian deserves a big night for him. He's done everything everyone's asked of him. He fought Joshua. He made it a very entertaining build-up. He gave us a great fight with Derek Chisora. I would love to have seen a second. That didn't happen. They went slightly different routes. He struggled a bit against Robert Helenius, but again, he was playing sort of second fiddle on that night. He came out against Lucas Brown and he delivered. His left hand was back. He looked fantastic again. And Brown was slow and ponderous, but he was unbeaten, and it was a great win. And it was a great win on a great night with a big crowd. He hits great digital numbers for us as well, Dillian. People want to see him out there. He's box office, and this is his time to be box office. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fantastic night from start to finish. And the main event is one I can't pick a winner. So I don't know if you can, but I can't. And they're the sort of fights I want to see as much as anyone out there.
Now, I sat down with Dillian Whyte the other day at Miguel's gym, and he spoke to me. He seemed a lot more mature and a lot more settled in himself than perhaps he would have been a couple of years ago. He was very, very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is, he was very objective when discussing Joshua Wilder, things like that. Despite it always being the case, as you said, of him sort of always being the bridesmaid but never the bride, really. Would you agree with that?
I think he's got an excellent team around him now. And I think that, Dillian has matured. I think that he wasn't quite sure whether to play the bad guy or... and I think he did with Anthony because there was real needle through the amateurs and through their personal sort of dislike of each other. But, he knows that he's exciting as well, so I don't think he has to take it to that level each and every time. Dillian's an enigma, and I think that's the key, Rob. He's someone who's unpredictable. You don't quite know what you're going to get with him, and that's the fascination. And we will see what he brings to the party again on July the 28th. I believe Dillian Whyte will become a world champion one day. I don't know how, and I don't know who against, but I think he will, and I think this is a great chance to showcase his talent. Joseph Parker's been a world champion, he wants to be again. So again, it's an unpredictable fight, but it's one Dillian can win, and one if he does, he's going to put himself in a terrific position, a really good shot window. People are saying, is it an eliminator? Is it? I believe that, you know, the big fights need to happen. This is a big fight, and I think that by winning this, he will put himself right up there for a Joshua Wilder again.
Sort of stepped on my next question there, Adam. I was going to say, irrespective of mandatories, this is kind of a case of whoever wins this fight seemingly jumps to the head of the queue. Would you agree with that?
I think so. You know, it's all about numbers and personality and excitement, and I think that, you know, both Dillian Whyte and Joseph Parker can bring that to the table. Joseph badly needs a really good performance. No disgrace to Anthony Joshua, but I sort of felt, you know, in the last couple of weeks that, you know, although he obviously was desperate to win the fight, he'd probably been, you know, comfortable with coming a very, very good second, and that's what he did. You know, he came a second. The referee didn't help him, but the referee didn't help anybody that night, I don't think. Anthony didn't box amazingly well, but he got the win. He went the distance. It was a solid performance by Joshua, and it was a disappointing one by Joseph Parker, looking back at it. This is a chance to redeem himself of that. I think stylistically it's a much better fight for him against Dillian Whyte, and it's a pick-em because of the fact they're the same size. They bring to the table a lot of qualities, also a loss to Joshua in different manners and different personalities as well. Joseph's very cool, calm, Dillian more hot-headed and, as I said, unpredictable. And but you know, he's more mature now and he's settled, and I think they'll let their fists do the talking this time. I think that you know, it's a great fight. Great fights can be hyped and hyped, but you know, we all know it's a good one, this, and we want to watch it.
And just finally, Adam, I'd like to get your opinion, if you will, on Eddie Hearn on Matchroom's deal with DAZN. I'm kind of confused. I don't really know that side of the sport. How does that affect your relationship, if at all, with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, so Sky Sports and the deal with DAZN? I
think it's really exciting. It's terrific for Eddie Hearn. He's obviously proved that he can bring the promotional levels to an all-time high here in Britain with the obviously stadium shows with Froch and Groves and AJ's 3 selling out, you know, Principality selling out Wembley. There's a massive buzz here. There isn't so much in America. It's still a bit tradey at the minute, you know. Vasyl Lomachenko and Golovkin, you know, stars from the East almost, and you know, Wilder's not a massive name in America, and he should be. They've got a lot of talent over there, and I think if Eddie can transfer what he's done here to stateside, I think that, you know, they're going to be in for a renaissance in American boxing. Showtime and HBO have still got a huge amount. DAZN's interesting. The Perform Group, the streaming service, they put a lot of money behind it. I think they're going to put on incredible shows. They're going to be stacked and packed. And the great news for Sky viewers is we get all 16 of them. So we get 16 on this side of the pond with Fight Nights and JD Next Gen shows, and then a whole host of content from over there. So some of the British fighters will appear on the shows. Some of the big names will stay here. I'm sure the likes of sort of Brook and Khan and various big names like that will fight here, and then he'll take some of the younger guys to the States, and he'll make a lot of signings over the next 6-8 weeks, which will bring a terrific amount of excitement, Rob, to it. So I think it's a win-win for both sides. I think it's very exciting for Matchroom. I think it's very exciting what DAZN are doing, but I'm really comfortable that Sky viewers will get enormous amounts of great content from both sides of the pond through 17-18.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Adam Smith, as always, it's a pleasure catching up with you. Look forward to seeing you soon.
No problem at all, thanks.